You just got weaseled. We are building a weasel army, all right? We're about to jump into the fun half here, and by fun half, I mean Ethan having a fucking breakdown where he looks very much not well, making more threats against small streamers, and talking about the guy that he paid to come into Frogan's apartment at 2 o'clock in the morning to try to serve her with papers. So, but don't worry, chat, he's definitely not stalking her. All right? Even though
Ethan's suing me. Ethan's stalking me. Ethan's all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yup! I'm doing all that! I'll see you soon. If you thought I was joking, I hope those 3 copyright...
Is he gonna show up outside of my house, chat? Is Ethan gonna be hiding in the bushes the next time I walk out?
lawsuits, put that...
Am I gonna get on a tuk-tuk and Ethan's gonna be the driver?
...thought to rest. Because every one of you motherfuckers that I said I'm coming for, enjoy the last moments of peace you have out there to the... I'm gonna say it. Noah Sampson, I didn't forget about you, scumbag. Daddy's watching and taking notes. And also, there's someone else special out there that thinks that they're safe and sound. Bad empanada, you're not.
Chat, he's so close to being the Joker, and I mean the Mark Hamill Joker. Like, doesn't he feel like the Mark Hamill Joker here? He's not Joaquin Phoenix. He's Mark Hamill.
Promise you, I find you.
Sorry, is it Mark Hamill that does the cartoon one? The cartoon Joker? Batman.
And a promise is a promise. Hiring a private investigator, a local private investigator to find out where he is, reaching out to advocacy groups and such like that. I think you can...
By advocacy groups, I think he means like melee supporting fascists in Argentina.
You can go to jail for being like anti-Semitic in Argentina. My point is, there's no problem. There's certain lines you cross, and you cross it with the wrong people, and that's what you did. Just wait. Just wait.
This is what happens when you find strangers in the Alps. He's literally the John Goodman character from The Big Lebowski. He's scary. Anyway, let's see what he's got to say to Frogan.
Interesting.
There it is.
There it is.
All right, let's get to our main story because we are
because we're almost out of time.
Getting tight here. So let's talk about Frogan. Now, lots of lawyers have been commenting on.
Dim's covered. Oh yeah, the process server that he sent that like reported back and talked about like coming into her apartment complex at 2 o'clock in the morning, like hiding just out of sight of the people, hoping that she would walk out and he'd be able to serve her.
On this, they've noticed.
Why is he still being able to be on YouTube? I don't know at this point.
In our filings, which are all public, that we've been attempting.
Is that some Teddy Fresh that he's got on? Is that some Teddy Fresh? That's got to be Teddy Fresh.
To serve Frogan. Now,
not to serve man like the Twilight Zone episode, but to serve Frogan. Okay.
We were all like, Frogan is actually handling this the best because she's kept her mouth shut.
Yeah, her co-hosts on.
The other thing about his misogyny is it's very paternalistic misogyny, right? The way that he always talks about being a dad and stuff, and like now Frogan, we thought that Frogan was being a good girl, but it turns out Frogan is disobeying by not letting me serve her with the papers for the lawsuit. Speedrunning Grant Lemanoham's claps like a Mexican blanket polo. Oh yeah, kind of. Definitely has to be Teddy Fresh, either Teddy Fresh or Jay Peterman. Chat, it could be a Jay Peterman. He feels like he's a mental patient screaming at the wall. Oh, the Joker in Arkham? Yeah, there we go.
Podcasts were even like trying to coax her into talking about it. And at the time, I thought in a pretty intelligent move, she said, I can't really say anything.
Wait, what? Environmental Coffee House had her channel taken down? What? Matt Lesh looks like he's being abused. Okay, I get it. Yeah, he looks like what Dan has punished Matt Leck.
Which, yeah, I mean,
Okay. So yeah, you're saying that Ethan. It's surprising that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I've talked to Environmental Coffee House, and she was like one of the nicest persons I've ever met. I can't imagine what the fuck. Like, yeah, it's a channel about it. It's a channel about the environment. It's a channel about climate change, right? What the fuck are they taking down her channel for? Like, what? That's wild. I mean, even like somebody like President Sunday, right, is a lot less deserved. Can't imagine what he fucking did. That got his channel demonetized, but it's nowhere near the way that Ethan behaves on every single stream. In June, this happened. Fuck. They have him editing videos until 4 a.m. He looks so miserable. Oh, Dan, does he do their highlights?
when you're in a lawsuit, you should do that.
Oh God, you're right. His eye baggage is, yeah, worse than mine.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So it's like, wow, compared to the other two, you really seem to be handling yourself well. Except, now we've served Denham's and Casey Tron. They're using the same lawyer, and their lawyer wisely accepted service, because when you accept service, you get more time to respond. It's the wise and responsible thing to do as an attorney. What's been happening with Frogan is that we've had a service provider. Now, these are the type of people you see in movies and stuff who will like hide in bushes, stake out your house, do all kinds of ridiculous things. One of these lawyers I've listened to was saying like he got served at the hospital when his wife gave birth. They were waiting for him. He got served at the hospital. So these people, they will get you.
Yeah.
And they will get you. They don't care how. Their job is to give you these papers, and they will. Right.
Did I tell my story last time we talked about this? Of me getting served with the wrong lawsuit?
I don't think so.
I once had somebody ambush me at my apartment to serve, not me, but somebody who had lived in my unit prior.
Oh.
And it was like in the parking lot, and they like threw the papers at me and like tried running away. And I like chased them down, and I'm like, this is literally not me. And I think they hear this kind of stuff all the time, so they were just like,
yeah, they don't believe you.
Yeah, they weren't believing me. And I literally like was like, I'm telling you, bro. And I like pull out my ID, and I'm like, this is not my name. You have the wrong person. And really reluctant, they were pissed. Really reluctant.
He took it back?
He took it back.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, that's pretty rare.
Yeah. But I didn't want to get involved. I don't know if that would even be a possibility, but like I didn't want to accept anything related to a lawsuit. I was like, I don't want this.
So the thing is, I'm starting to suspect that Frogan doesn't have an attorney at all. Because if she did, they would have accepted service.
Right, because
she knows she's being
sued. It's to your
sued.
benefit to accept it.
She knows she's being sued. She's acknowledged it. She's literally acknowledged it online. I've talked about it. All of her friends have talked about it. Like, she knows she's being sued. So this matter of service is silly, because we all know that she knows she's being sued. Now, what would dodging service actually accomplish for you? It could buy you like an extra week. It doesn't do anything for you except make you look pathetic and put you in a tighter position when you are served. There's also escalating different methods of serving, which get more and more potentially embarrassing for her. Right? I got a message from Dan Served Love.
Yo.
Oh, that could be the name of the segment. Dan served love. Serving, dishing.
All right.
Good.
Thank you, Bill Mod, for that.
Dishing with Dan's served love.
Why would she accept it? Well, he's claiming that he's going to claim here that that first of all, if she the longer she goes without being served, the less time she's going to have to respond, the less time her lawyers will have before the lawsuit goes through, and that if she continues, if she, somehow if he can't serve her, and I don't know any lawyer, we got any lawyers in chat? We got any any paralegals, any law knowers? He's going to also claim that if she doesn't, if she like, you know, somehow, if they're unable to find her, that they can do a summary judgment. Remember like what they did with Alex Jones, where Alex Jones's lawyers would not cooperate. And so he got a summary default judgment against him. That's what Ethan is saying that they're going to do to Frogan. I'm not sure if that's true, right? Like I'm just wondering, right? Like, you know, if somebody's like, if they can't find somebody to serve them, I mean, I guess the only thing that he could say is he could show her reacting to the lawsuit and say she knows about the lawsuit, right? Got a B in citizen law in high school. Frogan is no Alex Jones, yeah. But I don't know. Could he default summary judgment her if she doesn't if the, you know, process server doesn't find her?
Love.
Served love.
Huh.
Dishing
There might be
with Dan
something there.
served love.
All right, Bill Mod. All right, Bill Mod.
Mod him.
You know what? You're hired.
So I don't know what she's doing, what her intention is. But at this point, she went from thinking that she was handling this the best to now almost certainly thinking that she's handling this by far the worst. And it gets even more dicey when you consider the fact that she's raised $40,000 for her legal defense, and she seemingly does not even have an attorney.
I feel like Alex Jones's summary judgment, wasn't that more to do with his law team not cooperating with the discovery process, right? So the prosecution asked or the plaintiff, I guess in this case, asked his asked his lawyers to, you know, for documents and stuff like that. They weren't forthcoming with that. And I think that's why Alex Jones got the summary default judgment against him. I don't know. And you know, with Alex Jones, it was strictly so he could be like, you guys, there wasn't even a trial. They're making me pay all this money. They're trying to take away my InfoWars, and there wasn't even a trial. Yeah, there wasn't a trial because your fucking law team dodged the discovery process. There couldn't be a trial because you wouldn't, like, you know, cooperate. But this is a different situation. I mean, I've had, you know, people, you know, threaten to do stuff like this, you know, take me to court over copyright before, and complain on Twitter about not being able to serve me. But I don't know, how stupid is Dan on a 1 to 10 scale? Look, he's paid to play. He's paid to be more oblivious than he actually is, I guess.
If she had an attorney, they would absolutely have accepted the service. It would be utterly insane for them to play this game.
She's raised $35,071.
What's that money for?
$35,071.
Like, what's that money for? You know?
That's not. You're doing it wrong on both.
See, like, the thing about Dan is, like, part of me wants to believe that he's fundamentally like a decent guy, but the fact that he plays along with Ethan's bullying, that's what makes me be like, no, he's not a good guy. Like, I want to look at him like a John Adirola, right? John Adirola is still with TYT. He's, I think, just started a family, obviously needs the health insurance, right? It sucks that, like, he's so much better than TYT. He should not be with them. But I kind of, like, understand it on some level with Adirola. John Adirola, like when he's on with Jink and Jink talks some bullshit, John will talk back to him, right? Whereas Dan, I mean, you did get that today where he was like, hey, if you're going to bring Jimmy Lee back on, maybe I will not be on the stream going forward. But I mean, that's about it. And it's hard to tell if he was even serious about that. I even had chatters correctly question, like, you know, if Ethan does bring Jimmy Lee on, like, what makes you think that Dan's not just gonna bite his tongue and you know, just put up with it like he does with everything else? Dan has a cognitive impairment from exhaustion. He does look pretty exhausted. Hope Dan got a massive pay raise because he's gonna be out of work for a long time when all the shit comes to a head.
So she quickly went from being the best one to potentially, actually not potentially, if what I'm saying, by far the dumbest one to him.
Oh my God, chat. You know what a dream of mine is? Just stream so late someday that we raid the Majority Report. That would be cool. That would be really fucking cool. I would love to send like 50 people into the MR chat because I know their viewership is not as high on Twitch as it is in YouTube. So I think maybe they could use the help. I mean, you know, they get more views than me, but you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen. What we got, it's what is it, Majority Report comes on at 9 Pacific time. It's now yeah, we're not gonna get there. Someday, chat. Someday we'll do like a subathon. Yeah, that would be a cool subathon, like a subathon straight on till morning. Maybe even you know what would be cool? We haven't done this in a long time, chat, but I used to do this thing called the Pirate Ship of Theseus, and we would start a panel. And then we'd raid into another channel and another. Oh God, I guess this wouldn't work with Majority Report. We'd basically have the panel go on to the next stream when we'd raid into somebody. Like we'd only raid into people that agreed to have the panelists on. And the idea was to like try to catch the raid that had the panel on it the next day. Like have the, you know, raid into somebody else. They raid into somebody else. They raid into somebody else. They have a panel that, you know, goes from stream to stream, but then people keep on going to bed and people like, you know, come on the panel. But yeah, I don't think that would work with Majority Report. It would be cool enough just to raid them someday. I don't know, chat. Whisper of a Dream. Maybe we'll do a subathon.
And the thing is, if she doesn't respond by August 4th, then we can move for default judgment, which means she loses outright.
That is.
See, I don't know if he's right about that. It's too bad Davi's not here. I would love to bounce this off a lawyerly mind. See if what Ethan is saying even makes sense.
This is a week from today.
It's a default. It means she's had this much time, and she hasn't responded. She hasn't had an attorney reach out. She hasn't accepted
a pigeon cameo. I should have the pigeon. You know, I just have to do a phone stream to have a pigeon cameo. That wouldn't be too hard. Oh no, maybe not. I don't know. The pigeons don't. They do. If I go out on the if I go out on the balcony, the pigeons fly away.
Service official, or well, no, she has a
careful with the subathons on YouTube. Why?
Accepted service. She has accepted service, but she hasn't responded to it. Right.
I see.
And so if she doesn't respond in a week by August 4th.
Isn't Ethan's lawyer ChatGPT now? No, it's a West Bank settler, apparently.
Default just means the judge just decides, like, okay, you lost. You did a copyright infringement. So here's the penalty. You have to pay.
I gotta say, chat, that is an ugly ass tattoo. Like, I feel like Ethan would do better just letting his kid scribble on his arm.
Ethan a bunch of money or something. It's bananas.
What is the...
Is Destiny the person referenced in the title? Lost, so it kind of sounds like it, doesn't it?
What's the strategy here?
I don't know. It's really, really, really sad and pathetic. So here, I'm going to read a couple of bullet points here. So she has been served. The way that it was described, this is all public filing. I've seen other legal channels talk about this, but
so wait, what is this? Like, if they can establish that the person's dodging getting served, like if they can show Frogan's stream and say, Your Honor, she obviously knows about this. She obviously knows that she's being sued, and yet we've tried to serve her on this, and this, and this day, and the door, there's never an answer on the door. Like, what do they have to do to get that default judgment? Like if they just failed to find her, would they still be able to get a default judgment, or is this only if do they have to prove that she is dodging the the paperwork? Destiny is going to be in a heated Wick debate tonight. Oh, great. His community has been denigrating. Yeah, I know about Pisco. Pisco's a friend of the VOD. I've had Pisco on many a times for a pretty nice discussion. I kind of, when I realized how toxic DGG was, I stepped away from Pisco for a while. But it does seem like he is the burr in Destiny's saddle at the moment, and I'm here for that. I think it's an important argument because it has to do with libs drifting left and attempts by DGG type stuff. This is what Destiny's always hated. This is what he's always fought, even back in the Twitch poll days when he targeted people. When Twitch poll targeted people, they were targeted because, based on their, how far they were to the left, right? It was an attempt to try to manipulate the space to, stay in a more centrist SOCDEM sort of alignment, right? And it somewhat worked, at least for a while. And then Destiny got kicked off the platform. Just with everything else Ethan likes, his clothes, his fashion line, his wife. Oh my god. Yeah, we should we'll cover that. How about that? Does that sound good? Should we cover that? DGG, for anybody who's asking, is the technically it's the name of Destiny's website. It's destiny.gg. He embeds his stream on a website so that he can get subs that don't go through Twitch or YouTube, so he can get a little bit more money out of those subs, basically. And so, but when we say DGG euphemistically, it just refers to Destiny's community, right? There's an offline chat on the website that people talk on when Destiny's not on, and so yeah, because that's Destiny's community that's in there. It's just become a euphemism for talking about his community. Yeah, general term for Destiny's community and adjacent communities. True. Sweet bank settler and a Malaysian wanted scam artist. That's Rom's partner. He's a good guy. I describe him as one of the rare principal libs. Yeah, I've never had any problems with Pisco. My only reservation is that, he has been a Destiny orbiter for, a number of years. He has cultivated an audience off of that position. He is he's a great debater. I think I've always thought Pisco was a great debater. Hey, what's up, Sarah? Okay, so let's finish this up. I'll think about this. Is that happening today, Lost Zote, the debate? What is it? Destiny's going to debate Pisco on Wick? Is that what's going on?
Somebody came out of the...
No, you're not diverting. We've been covering the Pisco Destiny drama. Okay, we'll take a look at it maybe tomorrow.
Apartment where she's believed to live at. Who is not, or they didn't say, it appeared to be someone in their 40s who was either African American or they said potentially Arabic. Okay. Who was dark.
They could see this person's hair. It's not Frogan.
It was in the middle of the night. And they gave her the papers and said, "Are you Morgan or whatever?" She says, "No, I'm not." And she says, "Well, I need to give papers to somebody who lives there." And she says, "I've lived here for yada yada years." And
who cares about the copyright when YouTube is acting as a co-conspirator with this type of entrapment? Wonder what Pisco's community is like now. It's kind of mixed. A lot of people are in there to give him shit. I mean, he's, and again, yeah, he built the community off of, being an orbiter. You build your community off of the bigger streamers community. So it's going to be kind of DGG'd up. But look, if Pisco's leading the, left flank, I guess, of DGG further to the left, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all.
That person's never lived here before. So upon further investigation and research, we're almost...
Oh, also, Sarah, thank you for resubscribing. That is 42 months for you.
That is her place, and she does live there.
Okay.
And again, this is what these people do for a living. They know what the fuck they're doing, right?
Right.
But our position is...
Do they know what the fuck they're doing when they see a 40-year-old, like a 40-year-old black woman with her hair visible and assume that it's Frogan, whose hair would not be visible and who's definitely not black? Does that sound like the kind of person that knows what they're doing, or does that sound like a kind of person who's trying to collect a commission for process serving and is just wants to say, yeah, that was definitely Frogan? I mean, close enough. Maybe Middle Eastern, close enough. There we go. Nothing like the description of Frogan, but they just want to collect that money. Does that sound like a person that knows what? I mean, do you not understand what this is? Like, chat, this is like the it's like the Amazon driver that leaves the package at the wrong address and just or like drives by the address because I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying, chat? This is not a person that seems particularly invested in their job. Is Pisco the guy who sings some tunes? That sounds more like Lonerbox. I always forget Ethan exists until someone covers him, and I'm like, oh yeah, this asshole again, yeah. After he just was just told that by his co-host they got the wrong person.
That she was served, right? Here's what I'm going to say about it. So she's obviously been attempting to evade service. We tried serving her during normal hours. No one responds to the door. We tried surveillance.
Like someone might be at work or something. Normal hours, working hours, nobody answers the door. Yeah, she's totally dodging you.
Around when she stopped streaming, which is early in the morning. People had noticed that.
I mean, that would be what a competent process server would probably do. They probably actually watch the stream and try to coordinate their appearance with the end of the stream or something like that.
One of the attempts was made in the middle of the night, and that the reason for that is because they've tried all the other times to stake it out, and she finishes streaming late at night. So they probably figured that, they could catch her out in the middle of the night. But with no luck. It was only when we conducted surveillance before and during her streaming hours that we succeeded. We confirmed it was her address through 2 completely independent background checks.
Wait, why are people focused on a potential even though it isn't Frogan picture? Ethan sued Frogan and Denims and Caseytron for covering the content nuke because they said stuff like, hey, thank you for watching this with our channel tonight instead of giving that awful guy Ethan Klein some views, right? He had registered the video with the Library of Congress, so potentially he can get not just actual damages, which he'd have to prove monetary loss for, but he can get statutory damages, which he can receive even if he can't show a loss, right? And yeah, he's threatening to take them to court. Frogan, he's served Denims, he's served Caseytron. Actually, Caseytron's dad, who is like ill, so it was giving him more things to worry about. Essentially, Caseytron, from what I've heard, takes care of her parents, and so the dad I think thought that it was going to be something from disability, and it turns out it's a lawsuit against his daughter who's supporting him. But yeah, Frogan is the only one who hasn't been served, and he's complaining about that right now, and accusing her of trying to dodge his process server, basically.
Checks. So there it is. The person who claimed that Frogan did not live in the unit was lying and likely is Frogan's relative.
Gotcha.
So they're playing really dumb games here. I don't know anyone by that name. She don't live here, and it's like you should just accept the papers, Froggy baby. And I love how they go. People are trying to characterize it like I'm stalking her. This is how it works. If you don't want to be,
He's like, no, I'm supposed to stalk her. It's based for me to stalk her. Rich people stalk poor people in predatory lawsuits all the fucking time. Come on,
stalked. If
get with the program. We're stalker nation here.
you don't want someone hiding in the
If you don't, yeah, like I'm not a. People accuse me of being a stalker, but actually I am. And also, if you don't want to be stalked, then what? Don't do the thing that I do for a living. React to content.
bushes that's going to jump out at you and give you papers. You could just accept service.
or just, yeah, let me ruin your life. Let me garnish your wages. Just give in to my financial litigious bullying of you is what you should do. You know, this is like...
Right.
You know, like you could just do that. I don't know if she just likes this victim game where she gets to be like, I'm being stalked and harassed by Ethan.
But did she say that? Or people?
She knows other people.
Okay.
Why is he putting his finger into the glass of water? I didn't notice that until just now. I don't know. You know, he has Tourette's. I don't know what just the water, thumb in the water helps with. Yeah, she's in Argentina, obviously, with bad empanada, clearly. I can't, I don't know. I've never noticed him putting his thumb in the water, but yeah, that does seem to be what he's doing.
Because, yeah, as far as I have seen, it seems like she's just zip about everything, which, again, probably is a good idea, but all the rest of this is...
Well, do you think that Frogan's
good.
under the assumption that if she pretends it doesn't exist, that it doesn't exist?
I don't know.
It shouldn't exist.
I don't know who she's getting advice from, but yeah.
I always assumed that she must have gone immediately to like a friend or family who's a lawyer, because she immediately was real quiet on it and seemed like she knew what she was doing and that someone had coached her. But again, it's turning out that she has no fucking clue. Frogan repeatedly referenced her, quote, legal team. But no one from her, quote, legal team has ever contacted us. This raises serious questions whether she even has an illegal team in the first place. She has until August 4th to respond.
It does seem to be the room seems to be arranged in a way where maybe he thinks he's got the Kleenex box fully in front of the water. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that putting your fingers in water is a Tourette's thing. I just literally have no idea why he's doing that. And, you know, the only thing I can imagine is that if it somehow helps with tics.
Respond, or we will seek default and default judgment. If Frogan does not contact...
Oh, maybe he burned it. That makes sense.
us.
Yeah, if it's cold water, that makes sense.
Or respond by October 4th.
Although you'd think they'd just get him an ice pack, right?
Raises very serious questions as to the purpose of her legal defense fund. If she's not using the legal defense fund to pay lawyers, then that might constitute... I think Ja Rule has a word for that.
Watch him fail.
Or maybe Ja Rule knows what it's not.
What is it not?
Yeah, what is it not?
I would call that
What?
fraud.
No. Well, we don't know
what is
that.
it not?
No,
That's not fraud.
It's not fraud.
That's not fraud.
Let's think of how to dig ourselves out of this fraud.
Frogan's like, it's not fraud, it's just false advertising.
Well, I
would
mean,
call
just
that,
like the denim
false
thing,
advertising.
you know, she could theoretically just refund it if she decides to.
True, but
Maybe she's going to have to represent herself. You know?
that'd
In
be
court.
fucking great. Yeah, if she listen, obviously if she returns it all, there'd be no issue.
Right.
But I don't know why she would do that, because she is being sued.
You guys are right. Everything is a scam, but not this.
Does she
Not this.
Does she think that she can give me that money and use it to give it to me in a settlement? That would be the ultimate irony for all these people that donated. If she just takes all of it and gives it directly to me.
Would you accept that?
Yeah. I mean, she owes me more than that, though. She owes me more than that.
Oh, okay.
I'm garnishing.
All right, well, you know, you might have.
There's something so disgusting about the cavalier way that I'm garnishing, right? I don't know how that works. If you know, there's like, you know, the garnishing like takes the wages past like a certain amount that somebody like needs to live, or if it's literally like every single dollar that you make in the future, Ethan can stake claim to. But that's a fucked up thing to say either way. Like, I'm garnishing. I don't care. I'm garnishing. I gotta say, chat, making yourself a supervillain on the internet invites some of the most unhinged people out there with nothing to live for to treat you like a fucking supervillain in real life. And with somebody that has a family, you know, and a show and all this stuff, like I just don't understand how Ethan is comfortable. Like, you know, if you like, there's a limit. Like, if you portray yourself as this fucking monster, you know, at some point you're gonna get treated like a monster. At some point, the villagers are gonna come for you with pitchforks and with torches, and it's not gonna be pretty. And whatever that ends up looking like on that day of reckoning for Ethan Klein, I sure as fuck hope no innocent parties are, you know, are caught in whatever fucking crossfire that ends up being. I mean, I don't understand why somebody would want to live like this, right? Even if I somehow, you know, had the desire to behave like this, you know, even if I was a complete scumbag like Ethan Klein, I can't imagine being able to sleep at night, you know, realizing that this is the character that I play on the internet and that some people take this stuff like way too fucking seriously. Like, I would be scared. I would be scared to be in his shoes. What a fucking asshole. What a fucking monster. And like, anybody in your, like, is it ever going to connect with his audience that like the way that he's talking about garnishing somebody's wages, somebody who actually has to work for a living, somebody who doesn't live in a multi-million-dollar mansion, somebody who doesn't have fucking, you know, like huge amount of wealth stored up, you know, when they get their wages garnished, like you can tell that he's not connecting with what that really means. Is his audience? Are there like working class people in his audience that are just like, yeah, that's right, garnish her wages, yeah, make it so that she's fucking delivering for Uber Eats someday, and that every dollar that she pulls in gets taken away. Like that's yeah, go ahead and do that's good shit. That's good shit. That's my streamer. That's my streamer. That's fucking wild. This is unsustainable. And I don't know how it's going to go off the rails, but I predict when it does go off the rails, it is not going to be pretty for Ethan Klein. It is not going to be pretty. I'm going to have a hard time feeling sorry at that point.
Have to negotiate it out a little bit, but there you go, Frogan. There's your get out of jail free card.
Honestly,
all you have to do is just rip off your fans.
I had space in my heart to let her off with like creative settlement offers and stuff.
Sure.
But at this point, I think I'm not settling with any of these people. I'm coming for the maximum damages. You know. She reached out and actually played like was amicable and fair and like not turning this into some silly, pointless, wild goose chase, just wasting time. Then I'd be a lot more amendable to alternative settlement.
That, Frogan? There you go. I'll give you a little tip, Frogan.
Who fucking who?
If you just tell Ethan.
Also, like literally bragging about like sending stalkers her way, like, you know, referring to himself as a stalker, right? I mean, Ethan, we as content creators, we all have to deal with the possibility of stalkers. We all have to deal with that, including you. I feel like at least if you can't be compassionate for somebody, a working class person getting their fucking wages garnished, at least you could be compassionate for another content creator having to deal with fucking, you know, this kind of unshit. Like, look at this, chat.
Ethan's suing me. Ethan's stalking me. Ethan's all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yup! I'm doing all that! I'll see you soon.
Yeah, that's
You know, in all my years of politics, man, I thought
sorry. It's that tab.
That he's funny.
Yeah,
You
you
did say that recently.
you gotta lie to him and tell him he's funny. That's how you.
Oh, and I remember how you reacted. And
Ethan
I'm just
is
saying.
really funny sometimes.
It didn't save her though. You think that I'll just drop it?
No, not just with that, but that's like,
You could butter me up.
yeah, he could be buttered, is what I'm trying to say.
Just like
he could
Trump.
definitely be buttered up.
He's the greatest, the funniest podcaster alive.
I hope
It is like Trump. The fact that he recognized. I've been saying this for a while now, right? That there's some really Trumpian characteristics of Ethan, and no, I'm not just talking about him like, you know, saying stand back and stand by. I'm talking about how he acts, right? The fact that he's conscious of that and sees no problem in that is kind of weird, don't you think?
we get PTSD.
Yeah.
So Frogan, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you're doing it, but
Wait, did he just say amendable? He said amendable. He thinks it's amendable. This is an English major, chat. This is an English major who says I would be amendable to that.
you should just figure your shit out because in 1 week it is going to get real ugly for you.
I just want to see Cav come back and eat the rest. That would be sick. I would love to see Cav. I would love to see Cav. No, I wouldn't, chat. I was about to say I want to see Cav like evict him from his fucking house, but again, his kids. I don't want to see. I don't want to see innocent parties suffer. Right.
Oh, real ugly.
Damn.
I think if she uses that money specifically to settle with you, I think her career is done. I don't think there's any coming
What
back from
career?
that. Well, yeah, but still, that community is just part of. I think it's over for her.
No,
I mean, that would
Chat, have I ever been this much of an asshole to anybody? Like, was I this much of an asshole to Demon Mama, to Stardust, to like, I'm trying to think of, I don't think I've ever, no, I definitely haven't. There's no way.
technically be using it for
Yeah,
illegal
I don't think it'd be fraud to
fees.
pay that money to me because
No, but people thought
Like, I know I've definitely gone too far at times. I feel like I've said mean things. I'm sure I said some mean things about Demon Mama. But I'm trying to think of who else. I don't think I've ever even come close to this, right?
she was going to use it for legal funds to go against you, not to give it to you.
well, that you're right, but but that's the ultimate irony in all of this, which I said from the beginning. Like, whenever people donate to these funds, I'm over the moon because that money I know is all going to come back to me. It is.
I heard Stardust doesn't stream on Twitch anymore. Yeah, I was too mean to her.
It is all going to come back to me. So, yeah, I think if she just straight up.
No, she does she lives up Nicholas Diorio's asshole now. She's moved in. She's moved in to his colon.
Slided that money to me, then yeah. People want.
She moved out of Doobie's colon and into Nick Diorio's colon. What was the other guy? John. Oh my God, chat. I'm trying to remember all the scumbags that she orbited. Oh my God, I can't remember that guy's name. John something. He's on Kick now. But yeah, she was chasing his clout for a while.
her to
Anyway.
fight,
Ethan,
guess.
wake up.
which is kind of great because here's the folly in this whole thing. She opened these GoFundMes, took a bunch of money from all these people, But now she's beholden to them, and she has to fight this for them. Otherwise, they're going to cancel her.
Zerka. It was Zerka. That was who she orbited. She orbited fucking John Zerka. She interviewed Nick Fuentes. She brought on Richard Spencer. She ostensibly like a streamer, a liberal streamer whose audience at any given time was comprised of at least 50% groypers. And yeah, whose best bud was a the purveyor of a politics Discord that's about half fash.
They're going to be super fucking pissed. But here's the thing. Fighting this is going to cost way more. It's going to be an obviously losing position. The correct, cheapest, easiest way to handle this is to settle immediately. But they can't do that because they took money from these people. If any of them settle immediately, they'll look insanely bad.
What was the Demon Mama controversy? I was critical of Dylan Burns on an issue surrounding his panel show. I tried to have a conversation about him with him about it. He was rude to me, so I kind of kind of rubbed his nose in it. I kind of destroyed him on stream, and since she was friends with me and friends with Dylan, I asked her if she could maybe try to settle the drama before it blew up, and instead of doing that, she took his side, and yeah, basically it was that.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess to an extent. I don't know. Like, I feel like that would be an understandable outcome.
It would be, but they took money. These people gave them money on the premise that this was some frivolous lawsuit.
You could refund it. Refund the money if you decide not to fight. That would be an option.
Yeah, I guess if you didn't, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Let's think of how to dig ourselves out
So
of
like there is a.
It's funny because like I understand like from a career perspective, like choosing Dylan over me was like a no-brainer. That was like the easiest choice in the world to make, right? But looking at it in looking at it in the rear view mirror, right? That choice does not look as good. That I don't think. Yeah, she got burned by the Dylan Burns community.
There is a door out of that predicament still.
Oh God, burned! I didn't even realize that, but yeah, his name is Burns too.
But it involves you not having that.
Anyway,
right.
Anywho,
so that's what's going on with my dear friend Frogan, and we have a lot of fun with her, don't we, folks?
And that's what's going on with my dear friend Ethan, and we have a lot of fun with him, don't we, folks? A lot more fun than I had with Dylan and Demon Mama back in the day. I will say that. I do not relish. Those were some hard times, but I'm glad I stuck through it. It was definitely worth it in the end. Anyway, chat, I bear no malice towards anybody. I carry no grudges, and I have no enemies. And that's a good place to be. That's a very good place to be. I'm very glad to be here and not involved with any of those shithead debate bastards. So